Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, the 29th of March. It's the third day of the lockdown, our first Sunday. No services took place whatsoever in our diocese here in the northern part of Southern Africa. And that's the first time that that's ever happened. And people may well be asking, but why? Is this God abandoning us? Are we as the church abandoning God? Well, the buildings might be closed, but the church is not. The church continues to meet. The church is the people. So we had wonderful services online, and thank you to all those that presented those services. But I want to share with you the question that many are asking, has God abandoned us? Is God even aware of what's happening? Are you aware that nearly half the world is in some form of lockdown or the other? As I speak to you, I can hear what would normally be a busy street next to the house. It's quiet. No one is moving. I want to share with you a testimony, if I may, a testimony that shows that God is not unaware of what's happening. I think God's very aware and is with us in this. Many of you may know that my wife, Jenny, required a hip replacement operation. And toward the end of last year, we began to look at the diary and we set early March as the day that we thought would be best for the operation. Beginning of February, we contacted the doctor and we asked him to begin the process of receiving authorization from the medical aid. We booked the date in our diary. No one thought there would be a problem. The doctor assured us everything would be fine. By early February, toward the middle of February, we received notification from the medical aid they had declined authorization. No reason that we could understand given. It seemed to be bureaucracy. It seemed to be red tape. We were left very angry and frustrated. And that's possibly a story for another day. We explored other options. I fought with the medical aid, but we also committed this situation to the Lord in prayer. And it seemed as we explored all the other options to try and get the operation for Jenny, doors were closing in our face, and we didn't understand why. But we had committed it to the Lord in prayer, and it seemed to us that God was saying, it's okay. He was aware it's what he wanted, and we had no understanding why. We had to accept in faith that our God was saying no to the operation. Now, remember, this was long before COVID-19 exploded across the world. It was happening in China. There were some few cases perhaps beginning to bubble up elsewhere in the world. But certainly for us here in South Africa, it was just something happening in the Northern Hemisphere. It was not affecting us at all. That was approximately the middle of February. The operation should have been done the beginning of February, beginning of March, and as you well remember, that's when the first case was diagnosed in South Africa, and it grew incredibly rapidly since then. And it suddenly occurred to us, if we had, or if Jenny had had that operation, she would have been either in hospital when COVID-19 broke or recently discharged from hospital. Her immune system would have been compromised. She would be in pain with a wound that was still in the process of healing. We had hoped, in fact, whilst she was recuperating, that we could have traveled and visited one of our daughters down in Pietermaritzburg. And as we look back now, the timing is such that it may well have been that this lockdown would have caught us in Pietermaritzburg. Certainly, we would have been in Pietermaritzburg when COVID-19 and the state of disaster as declared by President Cyril Ramaphosa was declared. We would have been in Pietermaritzburg. We may not have been anywhere near the diocese to offer any help, assistance, guidance, to call together the meetings and to plan how we would operate. So it seems to me God well knew what was happening, and God spoke into our lives. He shut those doors. The operation has not happened. Jenny is in pain as a result, but it's for the best. It's for the good. And so I believe God is aware. He is with us. This one simple testimony speaks of how he was with us, Jenny and myself. I have no doubt that he is with you as well. Whatever is happening in your life, whatever frustrations you feel, hang in there. Hang in with faith. Trust that God is in control. God will bring us through. And so, dear friends, my simple testimony and sharing for you today. God bless. Bye bye.